Happy Thursday, everybody. Bitcoin is bouncing. It's up almost 2% after a massive dump yesterday, 5% dump. And now it's bouncing. How far are we going to go? What are our price targets? And what's happening in future? What's happening in other markets, entire US market, we will review today. And before I go further, if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button. Only takes you 1 second to hit the thumb button. And please share with your friends and family this channel. Help this channel to grow. And if you're making money and if you want to thank me, there is a PayPal link. I would really appreciate all your donations in the PayPal link. It will help this channel grow. Thank you so much. Okay, so Bitcoin is up almost 2%. If you watched my video from yesterday, I told you guys this is the 1 minute chart. And I told you these are 3 standard deviations, green line. And I told you Bitcoin is falling outside the third deviation, which is this third line. And this is probably a good time to buy. And so basically green lines is when we buy, red lines is when we sell. And now you can see what happened. Now we touch the red line. Okay, so this is the time to sell. So the profit is already done. Whoever bought yesterday below this third standard deviation, they should be looking to sell here. These are the levels. So it's around 25,562, 25,795, 26,000. So Bitcoin is about to now sell. Okay, and let's go to 1 hour chart. And let's analyze in the long-term view how things are going on. You can see Bitcoin is now in a lower trend. Okay, what does that mean? It's making a lower high and lower low. So we can get rid of this triangle now. So let's try to analyze where we are now based on today's price action. This is 1 hour chart. You can see what's happening here. If I draw a path, you can see high. You can see we made a lower high. This is lower high, again new low, and now Bitcoin really needs to cross above this high of 26,422 to reverse trend. If you are a bull, you want Bitcoin to go above this, and also this white line. This is a trend line. Okay, I will show you on daily chart how this trend line looks. This is a trend line. Okay, so really want this to close above this trend line at minimum, and then close above this high here to reverse the trend. And then back test of this trend line and then go higher. Okay, this is what you want if you are a bull. Okay, and now if you are a bear, this is where it can still go higher. It can still go higher. Maybe it can back test. You can see it broke down. Now it's back testing this trend line, and then now we're going lower to make a new low. All right, and let me quickly show you. This is the bear case going lower. If I go to daily chart, you can see this white trend line here. Oops, let me fix this. You can see this white trend line. This is the daily chart, and if I zoom in a bit, you can see what happened. You can see we were holding this trend line for a couple of days, and then we broke down day before yesterday. Yesterday, and then now we are basically looks like a back test before we go lower. Now, one thing to note: this is the buy zone. This green line is the buy zone. Okay, so it's possible we can stay in this zone. The reason I think it's going to go lower is because futures S&P 500, US 100, these are NASDAQ and S&P 500, they are at all-time highs. Okay, this is the all-time high on US 500, NASDAQ 100 just going parabolic, new highs today again. So I think at some point we'll get this pullback. So Bitcoin is behaving exactly like, not behaving exactly like US 500, but it's trying to follow US market a lot. So if we get this pullback, that's going to affect Bitcoin. So you have to take into account a lot of other factors. So I do think, although it's in this buy zone, this green line is the buy zone, I think there's possibility we're going to go more lower. All right. So be very careful here. Don't get too excited with this bounce. Again, as I said, if I go to 1 hour chart, if you really see this price action above this trend line, white trend line, and if it makes a new high above this line, 26,439, that will be a change in trend. That will be confirmation. Okay. And then for now, as of now, this whole area here, if I make it a different color, this whole area here, you can see this is a big resistance. Okay, so Bitcoin is right now in this resistance, and it can fail anywhere here. Okay, it can fail anywhere here. It can even go as high as, like I said, back test it and then go down. So this is a danger zone. Now if you are in profit if you bought Bitcoin at the dump. When I showed you that 1 minute chart, if you bought here, and this is the time to take profits. Wait for the close above this line. Okay, wait for the close above 26,426. What I will do is I will draw a line here. You can have it on your 1 hour chart. Draw a line here. You need to wait for a close above this line to confirm a reversal of trend. And then if you see that we are going above this, if it happens tonight, that's a confirmation that a trend is changing. At least short term, we are heading higher. Okay. But then there is, again, if it go above this, then there's another big resistance here. You can see here, so multiple resistances Bitcoin need to deal with. Okay. So now I think that's good for Bitcoin. Now again, just to remind you guys, this is Bitcoin futures. There's a big gap here. Okay, this big gap around 2345. This big gap, this will eventually fill. I don't know. I don't have a magic box when it's going to be filled. It can happen this year, it can happen next year, but do not be ultra bullish on Bitcoin. Wait for this gap to fill. Just remember, if you're taking trades to the long side, take it for a very, very short time and then take profits, have proper stop loss and exit right away. Okay. So this is the gap is our target. Eventual target is this gap fill around 2345. Ethereum, that gap is around 1436. Okay. So this gap is here. And actually Ethereum can go very soon, sooner than we anticipate. So from today's close to the gap fill is around 13%. It can happen very quick on Ethereum. And let's quickly review Ethereum. And you can see Ethereum is in the buy zone. And actually let's bring our moving averages in. So if I bring our moving averages, you can see it's still holding nicely on this 200 simple moving average. This is the dark blue line. It's holding right here. Okay, so it's right on the support. You really want to buy at 200 simple moving average. Now you can see how nicely in the past, just focus on this dark blue line. Okay, you can see every time this is a big indication of a trend. Okay, so whenever price action is above this 200 simple moving average, this blue line, we are in an uptrend, and every time it's below, we are in a downtrend. Okay, so we went below this around here, April 2022. So now we were in downtrend. Okay, you can see every time we came, it was a big downtrend, came here, sold off, and now we are above this. So we are in an uptrend, and now we are in a battle zone here. We are right here. So if we happen to close below this, then the trend is about to change. Okay, be very, very careful here. And if we close below this, then lower prices are coming, and my target. So I am not gonna be too excited about this bounce. I will just wait for at least at minimum 1436. That will be a good target to buy Ethereum. Okay guys, and let me quickly show you now. I'm gonna move to these other charts very soon, but before I go there, let's quickly review 1 minute chart and see how things are going. So let me zoom out a bit. Okay, and you can see now Bitcoin, these are the levels. All these red lines are the levels to sell. So Bitcoin is in the sell zone. I'm not interested to buy Bitcoin. I might be interested to short, but I don't like to short. So my strategy is usually I wait for price to go in the buy zone and I buy it. Okay, shorting this market is very risky because I don't know where the top is. It looks like now it's S&P 500 is above 4420. So everybody is trying to call the top since 4100, 4200, 4300, but it keeps going higher. So rather than calling the top, it's rather wait for price to go into the buy zone and buy. I think that's a better option. So I'm not looking to short right now, but it's up to you if you want to short, but it's in a perfect sell zone here. This red line is where you sell, green line is where you buy. Let's quickly see Ethereum where it is. Ethereum is in that no trade zone. You can see when we got this dump, you can see here it was around this dump came to as low as 1600, 1630, and now we're still very weak compared to Bitcoin. But so it's in the no trade zone in the middle. Bitcoin is in a perfect sell zone. So that's it guys for crypto. If you are here for crypto, this is it. You can leave or you can stay here to look at other stocks, and I'm gonna move to other stocks. So starting with the US 500, Let's quickly review. What we'll do is we'll review for quick trades tomorrow where all the stocks are. So we'll review what other stocks are doing which we are interested in. So US 500 is in the sell zone here. You can see how nicely yesterday it came in this buy zone around 43.40. People who bought it, and then again today, this morning around 8:45 a.m. it came very close to the buy zone, and now it's in the sell zone. Okay. Same thing with US 100 Nasdaq. Same story. You can see yesterday came to the buy zone. Today came very close. Now we're in a perfect sell zone. So looking to short here. Do not look to. This is short term. So be very quick with the trades. Look to buy if you're in this tomorrow in this channel. Look to sell above here. Okay. US 30 is the Dow Jones. Again, this is also very nicely. You can see very nicely. It was in the buy zone all day yesterday. And today we are in the sell zone. This is Russell 2000. This is small caps. It's in the no trade zone in the middle. And I can show you my trades worked out very nicely. If you look at my video and if you listen to me, I told you I'm looking at buying CVS and UNH. I bought these first thing in the morning. And look at what happened. CVS was up 4.28%. So now I'm out of this trade. I bought right in the morning. When this opened, it was right in the buy zone, and now you can see. So basically, this white line is neutral zone. So what I usually do is, if I buy, if the price is falling below third standard deviation, I buy it, and then as we start approaching the middle line, which is neutral line, I sell it. And if you are here on the red line, then that's like you can start selling slowly. The higher we go, you can start selling everything here. Okay. So anyhow, I'm out of CVS trade. Now, one thing to note. On CVS chart, this trade is still good, but I'm not going to hold for long term. This is good for whole long term. If you are going to hold for a couple of months, it's going to be very helpful and very profitable. The only thing I don't like is it gapped up on 1 hour chart, and now it's going higher, and there's a big gap up, a small gap down. I'm not saying it's going to go first to fill this gap, but if it comes down to fill this gap, I'll be buying. And again, from here, there are multiple gaps. So the first target from here to first gap fill is around 3.5%. Second target is around 8%. And can even go as high as this above targets around 39-40%. Okay, so you got to hold this for a long time. This is a good healthcare stock. So, but as of now, I'm out. Actually, full disclosure, as of now, I'm out of all positions because I don't see any good setups. So for tomorrow, I don't have any good setups. So I have to wait for live setups tomorrow and see if there are any good setups on any stock. I will buy it as the market open, and then wait for first couple of maybe first 30 minutes, see if there is any stock going in the buy zone. I'll buy it. UNH was up more than 3% in the morning, and then again it went to the buy zone. But again, so I bought it in the morning. I sold it here. I'm not holding this anymore. But again, it's in the buy zone, so this is still a good stock to buy. The reason I'm very careful and being very quick is because of S&P 500. This is like a guide. This is like my guide. So because it's in the sell zone, when this thing goes down, entire stock market goes down. So most of the stocks go down. So I have to be careful. So if it was in the buy zone, I'll be looking to buy these, but because it's in the sell zone, if it goes down, then these stocks will kind of go up beyond third standard deviation. It can go even lower than this third line. So I'm very quick with my trades just because the whole index S&P 500 is at all-time highs. So I want to be very careful. I don't want to hold for a very long time because I'm expecting a pullback. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen very quick. Another one I added here. I'm keeping these three stocks at my radar still. ABVV, okay, this is another healthcare stock. You can see it's again very close to the buy zone. So if it falls tomorrow here, you can take a screenshot of this. If it falls in these green lines, I'll be looking to buy for a very quick trade. And as we get closer to this middle line, I'll be selling it, okay? Dollar, that's the other thing. I'm very careful. You can see dollar. You can see dollars. This is US dollar is in beyond third standard deviation. What does that mean? That means a pump in dollar is due, and if dollar goes higher, then US 500, Nasdaq, and gold, Bitcoin, everything will go down. Okay, so dollar higher is bearish for Bitcoin and gold and overall markets. So I'm very careful. Actually, you should be looking to buy dollar today. UUP is the ETF. If this is the ETF you could have bought, you can even buy it tomorrow. You can see how you can see also it's also out of third standard deviation. This is the ETF which mimics dollar. So you should be looking to buy this first thing in the morning. You can see it's outside third standard deviation. Moving along, crude oil is in the sell zone. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Just quickly, I will show you all the commodities where they are. Crude oil is in the sell zone. Natural gas, massive pump, 9%. You can see it's above third standard deviation in the massive sell zone right now. And gold, the reason I did not buy gold miners today because gold miners were not up too much, but you can see we are in the sell zone. Okay, so I'll review gold daily chart very quick, but you can see we were here yesterday. We were in the buy zone. Whoever bought it yesterday, I think I shared this with you. We were in the buy zone, and now today we came into the sell zone. So I'm looking for at minimum gold to fall below 1937. That's when I will be looking to buy gold miners. But as of now, I'm not interested in this. Silver again in the middle of nowhere. So you can see it came to buy zone and now it's in the middle. So no trade zone. But the higher we go, you should be looking to sell. Let's quickly look and see gold miners. In the middle, no trade zone. Barrick Gold, for some reason, there was a news with some partnership. It's in the buy zone. So what I'm going to do, I'm also going to move Barrick Gold up. This is another stock which I'll be keeping an eye. This is one of the few stocks which are in the buy zone. So yeah, these are also looking good. Gold miners are, I think, in the no trade zone. So just in the middle. Copper, let's quickly see where the copper is. Copper is in the sell zone. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to short. I'm going to wait for copper to come in these green lines. Palladium, again in the middle, nothing to do here. Wheat had a breakout. I'll review very soon, but it's up 5%. And I've been telling you guys to buy wheat since it was below $6. And people who bought wheat, they will be very happy. And today it's breaking out, so I'll review it very soon when I go to our daily analysis. Corn futures, again it's in the sell zone. Soybean, sell zone. Sugarcane, it's in the kind of touching again sell zone here. Coffee, I think I'm going to get rid of coffee because I don't have any ETF to trade. There was a JO ETF before, but now they delisted JO. So I don't have anything to trade coffee. So probably for now, I'm going to get rid of coffee. I'm not interested in this. Bonds, let's quickly see in the sell zone. Bonds is in the sell zone. And let's quickly look at sectors. XLE, it's in the middle no trade zone. XLU, utilities, okay, very close to the sell zone. XLV, healthcare, very close to the, actually it is in the sell zone, healthcare. XLI, industrial in the sell zone. Real estate, XLRE is in the sell zone. XLF, this is financials, this is also in the sell zone. You can see all these ETFs are in the sell zone, so I'm being very careful with what I buy. And all these stocks, I'm not going to go individually, but all of them are in either below or very close to the sell zone. So I'm not interested in these. Apple, Tesla, let's quickly show you. Tesla, Apple is in the sell zone. Google, let's quickly look at Google, very close to the sell zone. Microsoft in the sell zone, 3% up. Snowflake's in the sell zone. Meta is in the sell zone. All these tech stocks, you can see all of them are just going parabolic, guys, very close to the sell zone. Netflix also very close to the sell zone. Let's quickly look at any red ones. So AMD is getting very close to the buy zone. So for tomorrow, if AMD falls below 120, 116, 112, this is the buy zone. Okay, so AMD is looking good. I'm just going to see any red item. Nike. Again, it massive pump yesterday, so it's still in the sell zone. Let's quickly see any other massive red. These are just 3x ETF. I'm not interested in these. And ATD. Let's see if there's anything here. Also, it's coming very close to the buy zone, so I will keep an eye tomorrow. And that's it. I don't see any other red stocks. So most of the stocks are green, so not a lot. Okay. So now we go to daily chart. Let's quickly do a quick daily analysis on all our stocks and sectors, and let's see how things are going to get an idea of longer term picture. So let's go to MES chart, which is S&P 500 chart. Let's quickly see where it is. Sorry guys, I got so many stocks here, it's hard to figure out. Okay, here's the MES chart, keeps going higher with no stop. I thought we're gonna get decline a while ago, but this thing never stops. So it keeps going high. At some point we're gonna get this decline because this rally is not sustainable, but I don't know when. Okay, so I'm expecting a pullback and a bounce. One thing to note on SPY ETF, let's quickly review SPY ETF. Okay, let's go to daily chart. One thing to note, you see all these gaps here, these gaps will be filled. Okay, so you can see, let me get rid of this because this is not relevant anymore because this thing keeps ripping higher. You see these gaps, this massive gap here. If I hide these moving averages, see this massive gap, this gap will be filled, guys. I don't know when, but one thing to note that this gap will be filled. So you got to be careful. Like, do you want to be involved in this parabolic move when we know it's leaving behind all these gaps? You can see there's a gap here, there's a gap here, there's a gap here. Like, we know 100% at minimum 2 of these gaps should be filled. Okay, or worst case, at least first, let's say first gap will be filled at minimum. Okay, so from today's close to the first gap fill, it's almost 5%, 4.6%. When we know these gaps will be filled, let it, like, don't be involved in these. This is like a, sounds to me like a, looks to me like a squeeze. Okay, when we know all these gaps will be filled, do not FOMO. Just be very, very patient in this market. Like, I'm sitting on cash right now because I don't want to be involved in buying equities here. Even you can see these the ones I shared, United Health, these 3 and these 4 stocks. These are in buy zone short term, but longer term picture, this is just going parabolic. I don't want to be involved in buying stocks here. I want to be buying stocks when they are here. I don't want to buy here. Okay, so I will let it go. It can go wherever it wants to go. I'm not interested. Let it go. I'm not going to be chasing this rally. I want to chase a pullback. Okay, so when we get that pullback, this is a big gap here. Look to buy. Also, we can draw a trend line here. If you want to know when to buy, we can draw a trend line like this. Okay, at minimum, wait for it to come back and hit this trend line and then buy. This is not the time to buy. So I'm not looking to buy this. Let's quickly look at futures 1 hour chart and see if there are any divergence or they're burned through. You can see we made a new high. But still PPO is going lower. RSI, let's see, RSI still divergence. You see that? You can see still new high with lower momentum on PPO and RSI. So why this is not burning? If it keeps going high, sure it will burn, but things are still not as good as they look. Okay, and let's go to SPY 1 hour chart and see if there's anything else we need to see. This is 1 hour chart of SPY. You can see the gap here. See this massive gap here, which is around 421, 422. Another gap here around 406. Be very careful. These gaps will be filled. Okay. Triple Qs, 1 hour chart. You can see actually one more thing on SPY. Let's quickly look at 1 hour chart and see if there's any. You can see even on 1 hour we have divergence. 1 hour also have divergence. RSI starting to build small divergence here. You can see this divergence here. Still divergence on RSI and PPO on 1 hour chart. Okay. Triple Qs. You can see what's going on here. If I go to again 1 hour chart, divergences here. We keep going higher, but on divergence on PPO and RSI here. And if I go to daily chart, I don't see any divergence on daily chart, just on 1 hour chart. So it's tail of 2 different markets. One thing to know, there's slight gap here, very slight gap, and then there's a massive gap here, which is around, for some reason I haven't marked this gap. That's very, very interesting. Good that I saw this. Another gap here. This massive gap here around 333 now on triple Qs, and there's another gap at 354. and then there are multiple small gaps. If I go to daily, so from today's close, if we go back to this first gap, that's going to be around 333. So if market starts to dump, I don't know what news will come. 10% down. Okay, I don't know what will make triple Qs go down 10%. There will be some news coming. I don't know what it's going to be, but this gap, you see this massive gap, this will be filled. So be very, very careful here. Okay, do not FOMO. This sounds to me like some kind of a trap setting up by a market, and you can see how far away we are from this red line. This red line is 50 daily SMA line. We always fall back. If we go far, we come back to touch this red line. We go far, we come back to touch this red line. We go far, we come back. Now we're going very, very far. We need to come back and touch this red line. You can see everywhere. Red line is the mean reversion. We need to come back to the mean. Okay, so be careful here. That's all my message is. And let's go to US 100. This is futures. Let's go to 1 hour chart and see if we are making any divergences here. You can see here also on PPO it's showing some divergence here. Yeah, slight divergence here. And RSI, let's see, slight divergence on RSI and slight on PPO. So still same story. Just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, US 30, I'm going to be a bit quick now. So US 30, which is Dow Jones, basically new highs. You can see still divergence on PPO and RSI on US 30 Dow Jones. See new highs with lower momentum on PPO. RSI, I don't see a lot of divergence, slight divergence on RSI, but you're looking for a pullback. Okay. US 200, 2000, which is Russell ETF, small caps, right on this resistance around 1900. Still not able to close above that, looking for a pullback. And let's look at dollar. Dollar looks short term, it's looking, this is a big massive candle, and I showed you a 1 minute chart. Looks like we need a little bit of bounce before we go lower, but it's coming, cycle low is coming around July first week, so it's getting ready to bottom very soon, and then it's going to be a bounce. Okay, so that means if it bottoms soon, that means a big dump is going to come in stock market. Crude oil, massive, almost 3% up today, and finding resistance on this white line, which is 20 EMA line, looking for lower prices. Again, I said this is a range bound here. You can see this green is the buy zone and this red is the sell zone, so it can stay in this zone for longer than you anticipate. So if it goes here, sell. If it comes here, buy. Just in a trading range for now. We have to break either out or break down. Okay, in my opinion, I think demand is going to go low, especially with the rates going higher everywhere in global economy. So I think most likely demand will go lower, and then oil is going to break down, and that will be very, very, very bearish for the entire, because oil is also representing health of economy. So maybe later on this year we will have a massive dump. Natural gas daily chart looks like the bottom is in. We can see I did not change anything. This was cycle low. Another low is due here, but this smaller low is showing me perfectly yesterday. It came down, touched, and I told you guys watch this red line. Now it's above this red line, so it was up almost 9% today. So it's looking bullish. So as long as it's above this red SMA line, the daily 50 SMA line, you can stay bullish on natural gas. Already covered Bitcoin and Ethereum. Gold, I told you, looks like it came to the buy zone here. This is the, yesterday only I created this green box. It touched it and bounced right away. So whoever bought gold at this and looked at this box and kept that as a reference, congratulations to all. It's possible gold could have bottomed here, but I don't know yet. We will see. But if gold comes back down to this box, I'll be a buyer. I'll be looking to buy gold anywhere between 1930 to 1900. This is my buy zone. Silver, same thing, but it did not touch my buy zone. I'm still looking for some lower prices, but let's see if gold does not. If gold already bottomed, then I think silver is not gonna give me no new lower prices. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, silver will behave same as gold. Gold miners. Let's see if it's in the trend line. Yeah, you can see if I zoom in, it touched this trend line. If I zoom out, I show you this trend line, this white trend line on gold miners. It touched it here, and this is a buy zone. Again, from last couple of days, it's in the buy zone. The only reason short term I'm not buying gold miners, because I told you earlier on, 1 minute chart, it looks gold needs some cool down. So if gold comes back to the buy zone, I'll be buying gold miners there. Looking at Barrick Gold, this is the one which I will be looking to buy, and also Newmont Mine, which is NEM. This is the largest gold miner, and look, it's really sold off heavily compared to other gold miners. So this is good. This is ready for a pump. Okay, this is another one which you should be looking to keep in your radar. Copper, looking for a little bit of lower prices. I don't know if you already bottom, but if you get some kind of a pullback, this cycle low is coming here around the end of this month. Any pullback, this is by the dip market, look to buy. Copper is looking good. Palladium is also looking good. Looks like it's already bottomed here. You can see divergences. We were going lower with higher divergences, and now you can see what happened. We broke out of this line, this channel here. We broke out, and my next target would be now this one, which is around 1466. So from today's close, that is around almost 4.5 to 5%. You can buy PALL to trade Palladium. Wheat had a breakout. Congratulations to people who listened to me and bought wheat. And you can see we were in this bullish falling wedge. And today we got a breakout. And you can see this red line. I was telling you it really needs to close above this. And it needs to be a massive candle. And exactly that happened. We got 5% candle here. And congratulations who bought. Wheat was up. I've been telling you guys to buy since wheat was below $6. And now we are well in profit. So it's just getting started. So this gap is filled. I can get rid of this. Now there are multiple gaps, multiple targets. There's a long way to go. At minimum, it's going to 7.555. So yeah, I think it's just started. The bounce just started on wheat. Corn, again, by the dip market, looking for any weakness to buy into. So I just need to adjust this Fibonacci retracement the higher it goes. So this is actually I'm going to get rid of this. So we don't need to keep changing the box. So these are the levels around 594 to 575 is the buy zone. Soybean, again, very massive bullish candle here, but again on resistance on this 50 daily SMA line. So looking for that to close before we get extra bullish. And I'm gonna again get deleted these. So looking for buy zone here. Sugarcane keeps going higher. And looks like commodity is taking a bit, and also it's above this red line. This is 50 SMA line, looking good. Now let's see if it makes a new high on divergences on PPO and RSI, which looks like it will happen. We got to be very careful on sugar, okay? Mortgage rates are dumping, TNX, which is bullish for stock market. But we got to be very careful. Any day this can ramp up. There are multiple gaps to the top. This can be filled any days, okay? Bond market is bouncing now, finding resistance right on this 200 SMA line. This is the blue line, looking for equal low or lower low. And let's quickly keep going on. XLE, which is energy sector, again finding resistance on this 50 daily SMA line. Oil was up 3%. This is only up 1%. So this is tail of two markets. Looking for another gap up today. Gap here, gap here. Also, there's another gap here, massive gap here. So I don't know if this gap is going to be bottom or it's going to go all the way here. I don't know. Let's see. But for now, we will keep this as our first target. XLU. I really want some pullbacks in this market. If that pullback happens, utilities will pump higher because this is a safety sector. So let's see. I think we're still looking for higher projections. This is the massive gap here around 69. That's my target. Healthcare going very high, mainly due to CVS and UNH, and looking very bullish. It closed above this red line. This is the 50 daily SMA line. As long as this is first close above that, and if it closes again above that tomorrow, then that's 2 days in a row close above 50 daily SMA line. That's going to be very bullish. If not, then we can come all the way down to fill this gap and then go higher. Industrial, again, I think it's a new high, looks like. Yeah, it's a new high. But again, you can see what's happening. RSI showing no divergence. PPO is showing some divergence. So one of the indicators are saying we got to be a bit careful here. You can see there's divergence here. RSI has no divergence, so just be careful on these in this market. Just remember there's a massive gap here. I don't know when it's going to be filled. Just remember there's a gap here. Okay. Real estate, XLE, another gap here, and yeah, just be careful here. These gaps will eventually fill. I just don't know when. XLF is another one. Also, there's another gap here. Also, XLF is looking bullish because it's closed above this 200 SMA line, blue line, but tomorrow it also needs to stay above that. If it closes above that tomorrow, that could be bullish, and we could come back at a later stage to fill this gap. It doesn't need to be now, but I really want some pullback now, and I think this is the best time to get some cool down. All right, so let's quickly look at some of the stocks here and see what's going on. Tesla, gap here. You can see multiple gaps. This is a huge gap here, around 235. So yeah, I think today Tesla was down slightly, and let's see 1 hour chart. Did we gap down? We did not gap down. We filled all the gaps, and yeah, just be careful, guys. Multiple gaps to the downside, so we are due for a pullback. Apple, another new high. You can see what's happening, new highs with divergence on PPO. This is daily chart of Apple. You can see what happened here. You can see this divergence on PPO. RSI, no divergence, but again, multiple gaps to the downside, so be careful. Any of these gaps, most of these gaps should fill. We just don't know when. Google, same thing, multiple gaps, and you can see divergence here. You can see this high here, which happened on 7th of June. This came on a divergence on other side. We've got to be very careful. At minimum, looking for this gap around 113 to fill. Microsoft, massive move, new all-time high, looking really bullish. Again, look at these lines here. These are like oversold here. Again, be careful, guys. There's multiple gaps here, another gap here. These gaps, again, same story. Just be careful. I don't like when stock keeps going higher without filling the gaps or leaving the gaps. Snowflake, terrible earnings. Forward guidance is bad. Still, these guys are pumping. Market makers are pumping. Really looking not good. So you can see new high today. Same story. Divergence on PPO here. Even RSI, you can see divergence here. Be careful, guys. This is not a market to be. I think there could be a liquidation break any day. Here, let's hide this. You can see what's going on here. Meta, Facebook, very close to filling this upper gap. I think now, since we're already there, probably it's going to fill this gap maybe tomorrow. This gap is at around 290. It could go and fill this gap, and then that's it. And then we're going down. Multiple gaps to the downside. Amazon, 0.5%. Again, I think there are multiple gaps. Same story. Multiple gaps to the downside. Netflix up 1%. Let's quickly see. It takes a while to load these charts, but you can see multiple gaps. NVDA down 0.8%. Massive gap here, so gotta be very careful. Anytime we can come back to fill these gaps. AMD down 2.4%. This gap is my first target around 109.5. Okay, and I think yeah, let's see if there's anything interesting. Disney, let's quickly review Disney. It was down in the morning, then at the end they managed to close it green. I really want Disney to go and fill this gap. This gap is around, let it load very soon, around 88.79. I really want Disney to fill this gap before going too much higher. That will be a great buying opportunity if that happens. This gap here, we're going higher. Let's make it green. That's my preferred path on Disney. And let's see if there's anything else interesting happening. Yeah, I think that should be it. And then Canadian market. Let's quickly look at Canadian market. XIC, the last one, kind of flat today with the S&P 500 going all-time high. This is mainly because gold stocks were like, Canadian market is heavy with gold sector and energy sector. Gold stocks were like kind of flat, multiple gaps. So I really want this big gap to fill. If that happens, then that will be a buying opportunity. So I'm looking for that gap to fill to buy it again. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for today. And if you're still here, please hit the like button on your way out. And I wish you all the best and have a good trading. Happy Friday tomorrow. Bye.